who watch my stupidity. My internet got interrupted because of the storm. As I was saying, exactly what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yes, you'll get more. Oh yes, as I was saying, one day my mom left for work, and I had decided the previous night that in the morning I was going to strip down to nothing and sleep, and so I did, and I woke up feeling
Now come along quietly, and we won't have to get robbed. Brother, I think she's telling the truth.
I'm not going anywhere. Now back off before I do something drastic.
Hello?
She doesn't have the scar.
What? Oh, you're right.
We've made a mistake. Now move along before that mouth of yours gets you into trouble.
Hello?
Next time you might want to get dressed before leaving the house.
No.
Good morning.
Talk to me. Yeah.
Need something?
Foreigners. What a nuisance. They thought I was some other red girl. I cannot best you.
Oh no. I wonder what I would look like with this on. No. I am so sorry for taking your hood. Here, have it back. Anyways, I woke up feeling lighter. You know, I'm a heavy guy, but I woke up feeling lighter. I woke up feeling better. It was like almost like the best sleep I ever had. And you know what? I did it the next night. And then another day, while my mother and brother went to Nashville, and I was home alone, or to Jackson, or to some place. I stripped down to nothing, and I spent the entire day just naked, as in my birthday suit, in just my natural state. And you know what? I loved every second of it. Now, some people think nudists are just a bunch of perverts who want to hang around naked. That's not true, at least for all of us. Very rarely will you find just a creepy dude in a nudist resort. And if you do, keep an eye on him. Or actually talk to him. Because the creepy dude might not be the actual creepy dude, you know. He might just be a guy who is looking for friends, and you know, because he looks a certain way, nobody really wants to hang out with him. Oh, I've been here before, I think. Where am I? I gotta check my map. Lost Knife Hideout. It's either a bandit no. Bandits wouldn't have this here. This has to be like where I killed the Grimoire witches to free Cod Black Soul, which I have seen in Salvagard, and believe me, I almost actually cried. Because, you know, I didn't know his character showed up again in Salvagard. Okay, let me see. Riften. It's Markarth. Iverstead. But anyway, as I was saying, the creepy guy might not actually be the creepy guy, and if he just turns out to be the creepy guy, you know, stay away from him and keep an eye on him. Because there have been reports of pedophiles in nudist resorts, you know, doing absolutely disgusting stuff and repulsive, and I wish we would take those people, not just put them in jail, because, you know, then a bunch of people who really didn't do, like petty shoplifters, they don't deserve to be in the same room with a dude who did disgusting acts towards a child, you know. Petty thievery is nowhere close to a person who is an actual, like, monster. We should have, like, separate places where they go, and frankly, I think their punishment shouldn't just be like a sentence in jail. I think we should remove their privates and send them to live somewhere else. Kind of like Varys, the spider, who had his, I believe he was well, he is a spy, and he's a really he's really a nutcase. But then again, who really isn't in the books and the shows? But he was, I think, caught spying, and the people who caught him removed his let me think of it as something. His gentleman's sausage. I will leave it at that. Ah, here we go. This should be fun. Hello.
Hold it. This here's a toll road, see? You're gonna have to hand over, say, 200 gold if you want to use our road. Huh! Tough talk for someone who's about to have their guts spilled. Never should have come here.
My item has insufficient charge, so I need to charge him. Oh yeah, I also have the web jack. But as I was saying, we should do that to actual monsters of society. You know, people like that. We shouldn't just do what we actually do. We should... Oh, lovely. And I died. There I went into the river. Crap. And I had just leveled up, too. But enough talk about this. Not all. Very rarely you'll find an actual pervert in a nudist resort. And if you're going to a nudist resort just to ogle at people who choose to live a different lifestyle than you, then you're really going for the wrong reason, and you're wasting money for the wrong reason. I mean, going to a nudist resort is just basically going and camping out or renting a cabin. Basically, you're renting a hotel where your hotel room is a cabin. At least some places. And then you go to a beach and just hang out and dragon. But yeah, you're basically just wasting money going to a resort where people choose to, you know, just want to be left alone. Some people actually live on resorts. Now I do plan on going to a nudist resort sometime in the near future when I'm 18 and have a significant other. Because, you know, I just defeated a dragon naked. Yeah. Dwarven Sword of Thunderbolts. Give me a soul. But yeah. Nudism is healthy. It has healthy benefits. You can make friends. I have a couple friends. You know, it helps you be more intimate. Not in the way of, you know. Well, in both ways. But if you're showing, okay, so stripping down to nothing but skin is in some way a sign of trust. I know I sound crazy, but believe me on this. It's a sign of trust, you know. Clothes are somewhat of a light armor. They protect us from the sun, they protect us from the cold, they protect us from other stuff. But, you know, stripping down to nothing is, in some ways, a sign of, I trust you to be, like, almost completely vulnerable. And I'm not saying, and I say almost completely vulnerable because if you know how to use your body, your body can be trained as a weapon. You're never really truly vulnerable unless you are a infant, in which case you really don't know what the world is, and everything can kill you. Now, as a human, everything can kill you, you know, in a way, but, you know, bear! Sorry, I just had to do that, and, what if I eat your antlers? Restore stamina. Wow, if I just gnaw on a deer's antlers, I will have restored my stamina and be able to run faster than, you know. But anyway, it's a sign of trust saying, I trust you because I'm getting almost completely defenseless around you, and you should take that as a sign of, I trust you completely. And, you know, the other person is like, I also trust you completely because I am doing the same thing. I am being in my natural state around you, and there's nothing wrong. And there really doesn't have to be a sexual tension there, but you know, for first timers, it is for first timers, if you haven't been raised nude, you know, and even if you have been raised nude, once you start to hit puberty, you will find your body changing, and you will find that especially if you're a male, your privates will start to be more active than just, you know, I have a gentleman's sausage and I can pee out of it, you know. And it will, and when you hit puberty, you will start to be more interested in dating and stuff like that. You'll be like, I could never be like, I don't know if I could be a motivational speaker or not, but sometimes I don't know. You know, you'll never learn if you don't take the plunge and just go for it. But anyway, and you know, it's kind of a running joke in the nudist community that if you go to a nudist resort, you will, especially for guys, you will get a I'm just gonna flat out say it, you will get a boner, because, you know, especially if you weren't raised nude, because, you know, you're like, there's naked people all around me, and, you know, the the human private parts aren't exactly wired correctly as to not do exactly what we can do. I mean they're not wired exactly like our fingers can be. I mean, I can, like, the entire reason is I can do that with my pointer finger. With my thumb, I can open the menu and press buttons and stuff. I can sheath my weapon, I can attack with my, and if I move, and with my thumbs I can move my character and camera around, you know, and I can hold stuff with my fingers because they're wired to be what they are. Now I say not wired correctly, as in I don't have control over what my privates do. It's like sometimes it's its own being. It's its own thing. This is gonna be a really weird one to discuss with other people. But anyway, and you will get a boner, you know, but don't be. Of course, it's like natural to be ashamed of it, but well, not exactly ashamed. You'll just be like, oh no, I have a boner. People are gonna think I'm a pervert, and I'll be kicked out, and I'll have wasted my money coming here, and you know, I'll just go back to my clothes and just lay inside, lay low for a while, and hope this doesn't spread to the news that people think I'm a pervert. And you know, that's not what happens at all nudist resorts. Now, I can't speak for all of them because I've really never been, but from what I've heard from friends and from people I have spoken to about this, it's natural, it happens, and people are and most of the time people aren't exactly, you know, just staring at another person's privates when they go to a news resort, just like head down, eyes locked on, and then you extend your hand like, "Hi Bob, how you doing this morning?" Shake hands, and you know, that's not exactly what happens, although some people might think it is that way. And you know, some people say nudity is a sin. Well, some religions say nudity is a sin, and you know, our body, and we should be ashamed of our bodies. That's not true. The human body is a wonderful, wonderful system. It's awesome. You know, it's awesome that we have opposable thumbs. It's awesome that we have skin. It's awesome that we have body hair. It's awesome that all these things are awesome. It's just really, really cool that that humans can do some of the stuff we can do, and some of the more stuff I hate, we'll talk about in another video, or I will not talk about at all, because you know, I get kind of heated in discussions like that. And anyway, but the human body is a wonderful thing, and you know, we're all humans, regardless of your race, your skin color, or your gender, or your, you know, sexuality. We're all humans. We're all Homo sapiens, and we all bleed red, and you know, we all bleed the same color, inside and out. Inside, everyone's blood is blue. On the outside, everyone bleeds red. We all bleed the same color, and we're all descendants from the first thing that eventually evolved into us, and, you know, and, like, people's bodies have adapted to their environment in which they live in, like, people in Africa have adapted to the heat and other things, and have adapted the way they work. The Native Americans who lived here, they adapted the way their bodies work into what they can do. And the Vikings, the Berserkers, the Ufundar, and the Boar Berserkers, they developed the ability to work themselves into a state of rage in which they could be stronger than 10 like really buff dudes, and they could just tear through people in a fight, just like ignore that they are not wearing like an actual shirt. They would wear like an animal skin. They would wear hardly any armor. Some wouldn't even wear clothes. Like, they would just wear a skin and just have weapons and just go crazy and just tear through people. And, you know, when that is done, they either die or survive and become, and as legends say, become as weak as an infant. You know. But, you know, cultures say that we should be ashamed of our bodies, and nudity is a sin. It's not. We weren't born with clothes on. You know, I didn't come out of the womb in a full business suit and with a briefcase. I'm looking at you, boss baby. Although I haven't seen that movie, and I don't intend to. I didn't think it was an interesting movie in the first place. That's why I didn't go see it. But, yeah. The body is a awesome thing, and I'm really glad to be a human. Although, other humans sometimes make me, you know, not so glad to be a human. But then I realized, I'm a different person than them. And if I find other like-minded people, maybe I can change the world? Instead of being a jerk like the rest of people? You know? And you know, there are those guys who, if they're taking their significant other to a nudist resort, or they live in a nudist resort and they get jealous because, you know, that's their mate, that's their person, because they're getting attention, and, you know, they think, oh, if another guy walks around nude and my girlfriend sees him, she's gonna immediately dump me for him. And if that does happen, then you were with the wrong person in the first place. You know, and it goes for the other sex too. You know, females think we guys are all just hungry wolves waiting for the next female to come along. And while that is true for some people, it's not for everyone. You know, a guy isn't just gonna leave his current girlfriend because he sees another girl with larger breasts and stuff like that. That rarely happens, and I'll say it again. If that does happen, regardless of gender or sexuality, if that does happen to you, then you were with the wrong person in the first place. And you should just take a minute, calm yourself, realize that they didn't really love you, and you weren't enough for them, and you should pick up and you should dust off your heart that has been dropped on the floor by the other person and move on with your life. Now, I've never had a girlfriend myself. I will not discuss my current things, but
They say the college has been snooping around Sarthon. Mages, they'll hear the news. Those damn mages blew up Winterhold. Guess it was just a matter of time.
you know,
Word is the College of Mages is back to normal. If there's such a thing for that long.
I am the chief of the college of mages. But anyway, move on with your life, you know. I can't guarantee that the first person you end up dating is going to be the one you spend the rest of your life with. No one can guarantee that. If you actually, you know, I don't know PewDiePie's like full story, but recently PewDiePie and Marcia got married, and you know, big congratulations to you, Felix, man, because you know he and Marcia are from two different countries. Marcia is from Italy, and Felix is from Sweden, and
There's been word of some trouble nearby. I'm on my... I probably shouldn't tell everyone who asks. This is important business, you know. No, I think I've got this one. Thanks, though. There's been word of some trouble nearby. I'm on my way to investigate. There's been word of some trouble nearby. I'm on my way to investigate.
where did you come from, and why do you have a full set of ebony armor with an ebony war axe? I'm gonna follow this person.
There's been word of some trouble nearby. I'm on my way to investigate.
Yeah, but I really don't have time, but, anyway, and big congratulations to Felix, because he and Marcia are from two completely different countries, and they dated long distance for years before they finally met up in real life and got a house together. And, you know, Felix lived with Marcia and Marcia's parents, and, you know, and you know, I don't know if that was his first girlfriend. I don't know if Marcia was his first girlfriend. That's probably not the case, but if that is the case, then, you know, he was lucky enough to find someone who loved him and put enough time in a long-distance relationship to make it work out, because not all long-distance relationships work out. That's a bear. Not all long-distance relationships work out. I mean, even if you do end up meeting that person in real life, there's no guarantee that they're going to be the persona that they may or may not have put on in the video chat. Because Jacksepticeye originally dated this one person from Korea, and she didn't turn out to be the one he was looking for, and so they broke up, and now Sean lives happily with whoever he is with. I really don't know if Mark has a significant other. I do know he has a mother who he loves very much. Not in that way. There's a leak. The ground has sprung a leak. Come here, look. There's a leak. It's leaking. Laugh. Anyway, stupid jokes aside. This has been a really serious one, and if I was Venturian, I would pick that. You go away. But anyway, stupid mud crab trying to invade my home. Is that giant here? Like, when you have Lakeview Manor as your house, there's a chance of you just walking out of the front door one day and there being a giant here. And it's especially crazy if you get a courier and they walk near the giant. The giant will register that as a hostile enemy, and that courier will join the Skyrim space program. If you don't know what the Skyrim space program is, it is a... You know what, I can just show you. Let's see, what is a known giant camp? Let's go to the one... Let's go to Bleakwind Basin. Right outside Whiterun. I have Vol and Drung.
Huh?
No. I will show you what the Skyrim space program is, if there is a giant here. Ah, yes. Hello, good fellow. No, hit me, no, hammer. Hammer. Hit me with the hammer. Do the overhead smash. Come on. Do it. There we are. This is the Skyrim space program, when you get hit by a giant and you go into space. It is one of my favorite glitches in this game, and I love it so much. You know, Skyrim is the perfect... Elder Scroll games are sometimes the perfect blend of broken and not broken enough to where... broken enough to where, you know, it's broken, but everybody loves that it's broken. Like that. If that weren't absolutely hilarious, that a giant just sent you into space and your character just flailed dead in the air, that would be like a negative. In some places, people would say this game is garbage. You know, glitches are sometimes really funny, and other times it's really bad. Like, especially glitches that if you just in a game that you spent hours trying to get to a certain level or a certain stage in the game, and it glitched out so bad that it actually deleted all of your previous progress, and you either have to absolutely start over, getting to that level, or you have to restart the game entirely. And restarting the game entirely after you just reached like level 80 in this game, where you finally can fight the Ebony Warrior and stuff like that. And believe me, those who beat the Ebony Warrior are really, really tough people, because the Ebony Warrior has basically all the powers of a player. You know, he can use shouts. He can use restoration magic, and I know some enemies use restoration magic, but like his is really powerful, and he does a lot of damage to you. But anyway, I'm really getting off topic. But anyway, nudity is not a bad thing. Now, it can be seen as a bad thing because you're doing a bad thing nude. Now, if you are listening to this and think, okay, well, if nudity is not such a good thing, then I should be able to walk out of my apartment with everyone else clothed, and nobody should interfere me. And if the cops like do something, then they're racist, or they're, you know, something other than that, or nudity is bad and you are completely wrong. Nudity is bad. Nudity can be bad because a lot of society doesn't want to see you nude. If you are a nudist and you can't get to a nudist resort, then make your own nudist resort. Like, go into the woods far enough to where people can't see you and won't bother you, and just be more in touch with nature, meditate, just walk around and enjoy, take pictures of birds and stuff like that, or do whatever you want in nature, as long as people don't mess with you or something bad happens to you. But if something bad doesn't happen to you, just stay in your house and be nude, because society is full of people who think, nudism is for pretty people, the skinny people who look like models. Most models nowadays aren't natural when it comes to nudity. If they are natural, then you got really good genes. If they aren't, then they had genes where they thought, oh, I have too small of breasts, oh, my stomach is too big, oh, my rear isn't big or small enough, or I don't have curves. Then they waste money on plastic surgery and ruin their body, because plastic surgery can go wrong and it can do damage to your body that will make you look like you use drugs. Like, seriously. Plastic surgery is never the answer unless it's like a health crisis, like you were born with you weren't born with nostrils. Well, with nostril holes, that's a bad thing. That will require plastic surgery to have nostril holes for you to breathe. Or if you don't have a mouth hole, like your lips aren't there, or like a big thing of skin is covering your eye, or something like that, or like it's just a minor detail, and you don't, plastic surgery is hardly ever the answer unless it's a health crisis. At least that's my opinion on it. People who really use plastic surgery without it being a health crisis, or it's something very minute and they really don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Like a certain Kardashian, which is all of them, who have ruined their bodies because they want to be beautiful. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The people who get plastic surgery were told they were ugly and that they need to get plastic surgery, and their confidence went down, so they were basically peer pressured into changing from who they actually are. Now, going back to the health crisis thing, I've spoken enough about the health crisis. If you need plastic surgery for a health crisis, get plastic surgery, because especially if you're a child, you haven't lived your full life. You haven't contributed to society. You haven't made it worse. You haven't made it better. You just are you until you eventually join, quote unquote, I'm using air quotes, and I'm saying that because you can't see it, adulthood, even though, you always have that childhood spirit in you. That's why Critical Role is such a success, because it's a bunch of adult voice actors who have actual jobs and actual families. And recently, Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham, two very well-known voice actors for video games, anime, and others, and cartoons, they had a baby. And while Laura was pregnant, she was almost every Thursday night, she was sitting there with some of her best friends in the world, being a blue-skinned tiefling in Dungeons and Dragons, making a story where you're the hero and you make the world a better place. That's why Critical Role is so popular, is because it's a bunch of really talented people playing a really nerdy game, showing that, Dungeons and Dragons isn't the stereotypical nerdy or satanic game it's made out to be. Only nerds play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm a cool person. I don't want to show my inner self because people will make fun of me for it. Or Dungeons and Dragons is satanic because it allows people to wield magic and meet mythological creatures and stuff like that. And anyway, I've gotten off topic completely from nudity and how nudism is awesome. But anyway, this has been going off long enough. I've made 2 streams, which was originally going to be 1 stream, because the internet got interrupted and had to start as part 2. Excuse me. And nudity is awesome if you're not bothering anybody, you're around like-minded people, and you're not weird about it. And I'm not talking about the good weird, like I play Dungeons & Dragons, people think I'm a weirdo. My girlfriend is also classified as, my significant other is classified as a weirdo as well, and we're weird together and we're happy. Not that kind of weird, the kind of weird that will get you in jail. But anyway, to finish this really really crazy episode of Skyrim up. Be who you want to be, unless that person is a bad thing. Be who you want to be, live the way you want to, and don't be a total jerkbag like so many other people in this world. This is Zarudak Holthok, Ale the Huntress, and Wolf the Swordsman, signing off. Good night, everybody.